this is a body. We have a physical body. And we have an energy body. The Chinese people call it Qi, Hindu people call it Prana, Japanese people call it Ki, and so on. A rose by any other name is still a rose. So, okay, the word heal comes from the word Halen, meaning whole. So we are helping the individual become whole again. In my yellow book, I talk about my Swiss cheese theory. By the time the client is in my office, she's had a myriad experiences, and especially relationships and experiences that didn't work out very well, that caused her to suffer. And in those situations, each time a bad experience, usually a bad experience is with another human being, a piece of her soul is lost. All right, I'm going to use the word soul and spirit interchangeably. And a piece of her soul is being taken away from her. So as you get older, you become one holy mess, like a chunk of Swiss cheese. So full of holes. So when the wind blows through, she's one amorphous mess. Resultant of that situation, the person feels very tentative. I'm not sure if I should do this, I'm not sure if I should do that, and you make a choice, and then you second guess yourself many times over. That's not a good place to be. So nobody wants to be a holy mess with an H. So our job, those of you who work with spirit, or work with energy, do whatever protocol you do. We basically dumpster dive. So we go in there and say, ooh, let's retrieve that piece, plug it in the hole. And oh, you stole a piece from me when I was 5. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to grab it and stick it back in the hole. We are going to create a hunk of mozzarella from a hunk of Swiss cheese. Okay, so it is a very simple process. Simply put, we are fear busters. When a client comes into my office, whatever they present, whatever symptoms, whatever sufferings, challenges they present, it really doesn't matter. My theory is very simple. Now, in my 4-page contract form, there's a section where I ask the client, check off these things that apply to you. Insomnia, issues with smoking, blah, blah, blah. I've got 2.5 columns. And I've had one client fill in the balance of the 3rd column, turn the page, and gave me 3 more columns. A very creative client who said in tears, am I going to be here for a very long time? And I said, I have your source code. It doesn't matter if you give me 10 more pages. Bottom line is, if I can help you resolve the fears that you are harboring, all will be well. So our job is to help bring them home, to say the original story is not to be afraid. Fear not. Fear not. Over the years, because I have come to this work as a professional health educator, I was a health professor. And my passion in being a health professor is to help people feel better, is to help people adopt healthy behaviors before they get sick. You know, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a physician. Many of my family members have become physicians. But I say now, I'm still a brain surgeon, only that I don't use a scalpel. And my job is I want to alleviate suffering. I want to help people smile when no smiles are possible. And I think we are all in that business, right?
Yes.
So when I left the university, one day I decided it was the wrong mountain, so I walked up the mountain. And hypnotherapy found me. I didn't look for it. Didn't even know what it was. Couldn't even spell it when I first heard it. And then I was fascinated. And I took the training. And I knew that this is no longer a job for me. I knew that this is a vocation, meaning it is the core of my soul. Then I realized that hypnotherapy is a very good start. All right? I do not do single sessions. I do not do symptom management. I can get you out of your phone for now, but you still have to go do some serious work if you want to stay out of trouble. So as a health educator, I realized the hypnosis portion, I can get you out of your head. Boom, I can do it in a snap of a finger. Abstractions don't work. Abstractions do not work with the subconscious mind. That's why weight loss programs don't work. Many people go to Weight Watchers. What's the key word? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. And your subconscious says, oh, great idea, let's get some more. So when we do weight loss, we do not want to say the W word and you will go blind. Actually, you will get fat. if you say the W word to your subconscious day after day, you will gain weight. I promise you that. Because your subconscious does not discriminate yes or no. Imagine you say, oh, I'm going to avoid every red light going from here to the strip. Guess what is going to happen to you? You're going to invoke every red light in the traffic system to be just there when you show up. As a result of being a health educator, I developed a protocol which I call iChange therapy or iChange therapy based on the ancient Chinese book I Ching, which is over 5,000 years old. It is called the Book of Changes very appropriately. So I thought there's got to be a three-part thing to help people to heal inside and out. So the first part is hypnosis. Hey, we all know how to do hypnosis, yes? So what does hypnosis do? I'm going to bypass the cognition. So, we don't have to deal with the psyche, the cognitive part, the analytical part of our brain. We're going to take our left brain and park it. So can you imagine, having been a professor for years, the first thing I tell my client is stop thinking. Stop thinking. Do not think. Don't even think about it. Because we are dealing with the affective part of our being. Right? So, have you ever been in a situation, either yourself or someone you know, who's lost somebody very dear to her, and somebody will say, oh, she's with the Lord, and you don't have to worry, he's in a better place, and give you 101 reasons why you shouldn't be grieving.
Yep.
Is that going to help you one lick?
No.
Not one bit. What's wrong with that? It's because somebody's trying to reason away your feeling. Folks, it's like measuring temperature with a ruler. Wrong tool. We are the right tool. Because we help the client work on solving her issues at the same level in which the issues occur. That's an emotional issue. Client comes to you because they say, I feel bad. I want to be happy. I'm so sad. I'm so scared. I have anxiety. I have depression. I feel so hopeless that I just want to kill myself. We do things where most common modalities cannot touch. Because we solve the problem at the level in which the problem was conceived. Thank you, Einstein. He said we cannot solve a problem from a different level, at the same level in which it's conceived, but we can solve it with the right tool, right? So hypnosis is very powerful. It gets us right in the subconscious, dig in, dumpster dive, find the fear, resolve the fear, come back. Hey, how are you? listen. Then what? That's the part, as a health educator, I find lacking. Because you go to a hypnotherapist, boom, bang, you quit smoking, then what? All your friends hate you because you can't hang out with them anymore, and you hate them because you can't stand their smoking habits. So this is the part of my work that as a health educator, I bring this work in, where after you help the person get out of the first traumatic, whatever issues that they're challenging, you take them out of the pit, you have to show them the map. You have to guide them how to walk in the light, otherwise they walk backwards and boom, they fall back into the pit. So that part is the first portion of my work. The second portion is teaching the client better communication skills. How to say no when it's time to say no, and no longer be the doormat that she was that led her there in the first place. So this is a whole segment of my work I call Life Enhancement Training. I teach a client how to negotiate intrapersonally as well as interpersonally, and how to speak in specific language, right? If they come in and say, hey, I want to be happy, so what is happy for you is different from happy for her, so what does it mean? Know that hypnosis is a good start. Then what? Now we want to take it to a whole new level. You know how to do hypnotherapy, I don't have to teach you. So this whole segment is look at then what? We have to teach the client how to manage a new lifestyle. That's the health education part of my work. And then getting their inner energies in order. So step one, step two is to get their inner energies in order, right? Those of us who work with energies. And then they find that once their energies are now in order, the energies of the environment don't match anymore. I once had a client who came to me, quit drinking. He rented a 20-foot dumpster and cleaned out his garage. So the Feng Shui part of my work is to help the client then create harmonious environments so that it flows. And those outside environments may include new relationships. If you can't change the man, you change the man. This husband doesn't work, get another one. You know, it's like taking a bus. Once you miss a bus, the other one, a new one will come along in 5 minutes, don't sweat. So, we want to look at getting centered, first inside. And then you know how to negotiate your outside environment, then you actually physically change your outside environment. If you do not get your own poop in a group,
Yeah.
and I mean it very politely, if you do not get your own poop in a group, everything you do for your client is a lie. See, if you cannot be authentic and true to yourself, then everything you do is a lie that makes you a cheat. Ew, nobody knows. Well, you know, and God knows. And believe me, even if your client doesn't know it yet, she will know. And then it gets into Facebook, into Twitter, and then Google knows, and you're dead. 3 things to get well inside and out. We have to get our inner energies in order, which means that I have to set the vibrational signature in my space when I'm working on you. When we're working with energy, first you have to constantly self-cultivate. Right? All right? So figure out what's blocking you. Otherwise, if you can't put your stuff outside, you bring your stuff into the room with your clients, please do me a favor, pay them. Pay them and not have them pay you, because you are draining their energies. So that's unethical. So if you have stuff going on in your life, don't see clients. It will hurt you and it will hurt them. All right, so don't be so crazy about, I gotta have lots and lots and lots of clients. Make one mistake and you're done. Because there's Google. Be very scared. I derive my energy training from the Chinese tradition. I've also studied somewhat the Hindu tradition, and I learned how to dowse from the Jewish tradition. Also, I'm constantly learning from other traditions, because if we limit ourselves, therein lies your loss. One of the important piece in doing energy work, because energy work is spiritual work. Yes, do you agree? Energy work is sacred work, is spiritual work. If you don't get your own beliefs in the right place, you'll be asked to dance and respond to questions from everywhere. It doesn't matter what tradition you subscribe to, energy is energy. Spirit is spirit. God is God. I'm going to use the word God simply because there are only 3 letters. You spell it one way, you spell it the other way, it's still good. Right? You can call it universal divine, the source. So I require, when my client comes in, I ask a simple question: do you believe in God? And if they say no, I say it's going to cost you more. It's true. Tell the truth. It will cost you more if I'm charging by the hour. How much do you believe in God? Scale of 1 to 10. 10? 5? Next question. Of this God that you believe in, how much do you trust this God? He or she? She. He is in or she. All right? So, trust is 8, belief is 10. How about you, doctor? She trusts the God more than she believes in a God. That's a new one. Huh?
I believe in mystery.
You believe in mystery. Okay, not in name. Okay. All right. So what? Okay. All right. So this concept of God, how much do you believe that there is a concept of a God? 10. Okay. And you trust this concept of a God. You see how important it is when we change our vocabulary so that the client is comfortable. It really doesn't matter what she believes in. All right? It doesn't affect me. And that's also the very important part is I am who I am. If you like how I look, that's nice. If you don't, that's nice too. This is a body. We have a physical body. And we have an energy body. The Chinese people call it Qi. Hindu people call it Prana. Japanese people call it Ki. And so on. A rose, by any other name, is still a rose. So you kind of sort of know what I'm talking about. That which we cannot see. Right? So whatever it is. So this energy body is the God, the spirit within you. It could be what we call your soul. Everybody has one. Chinese people believe the bigger your qi, the more effective you are. Have you ever been to a lecture or a sermon where you have a very charismatic speaker and you might be way in the back of the room, but you can feel her energy, right? Or you might have been in church sometime and you're sitting right in front and you are praying so much because he was such a terrible speaker and you say, oh God, let this be over soon. Yes. Have you ever touched or shaken hands with someone and you go, gosh, I've only met her once right now. I feel so comfortable with her as if I've known her for a very long time. Or I'm going to pick on you because you sit up here. What's your name, sir?
Kenner.
Ken.
Yep.
Or you might go shake hands with somebody and get, ew. Gives me the bad vibe. Ugh. That's because he's a chi sucker. Chi sucker. Okay. So very simple basics, like water finds its own level. You could be sitting in a room with a bunch of negative people. They don't even have to touch you. They will be in your energy field and they just suck the bejeebers out of you because they're chi suckers. If you don't protect yourself, so all of us who work in energy, you must protect yourself and you must ground yourself before you work with clients, because clients come to you because they're low energy. They're vibrating at a very low frequency and they need your help, otherwise they're not going to be there. But if your energy is lower than them, please pay them. Please pay them. We don't want to make thieves out of you, right? Because if your energy is sucking theirs and you make them pay you, it's called theft. So now we talk about the harmonious flow of Qi. In Chinese energy medicine, illness, discomfort, and suffering is a result of Qi blockages. Right? How many of you are familiar with Louise Hay's work? Well, she talks about, she even has an anatomical chart that shows you if this chakra is blocked, it translates to certain parts. And Chinese 5-element theory, that there are certain parts of your meridians being blocked, it's related to certain organ systems. And you can just about track that. And in a little bit, I will teach and show you what some of this stuff means. And I have been able to clear energies with my hand, and people feel better instantly. But I have to be very grounded, or at the end of the day, you know, I'm drained.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. When I'm working with a client, I work from an energetic level. How did I learn this? I'm a curious student. I've learned different things. I learned about Feng Shui when I was an academic doing research. I wanted to write a grant to work on health literacy. And then in my literature research, I found an article where a physician engaged Feng Shui to promote better client-physician communication. When a client is comfortable in your space, when they feel safe with you, they can tell you stuff, right? So then I learned more and more and more, and I went to study. So I found out a woman who was teaching this. I picked up the phone and called the author of the book, and then she says, oh, I said, how does one learn about this? I know my grandmother does this. And she said, oh, I'm teaching this retreat, blah, blah, blah. I said, wait a minute. You're a white woman. And you're a shaman. And you're teaching my grandmother stuff? I said, okay, you speak English. Wonderful time I had, and I've done more and more and more classes. And that's where I had my first mystical experience, where being this very left brain scientist, I had to personally experience some of these things to say, whoa, okay, wait a minute, I didn't smoke anything, I didn't drink anything. Where is this experience coming from? So I realized that was my beginning to step out of the box and experience there is a much bigger universe out there than what we can empirically justify in science. That there is such a thing called the third eye. And if we turn our eyeballs inside, we can see better. Yes.
Yeah.
That if that is insight. Insight simply means turning your eyeballs around and going inside you and take a very good look. If you like what you see, congratulations. If you don't, congratulations, because there's time yet to turn it around. If you're dead, I cannot help you. So my academic friends in my academic community, they call me now and say, oh, Kweethai, you're doing this wonderful stuff. You should set up experiments and do evaluations and publish papers and blah, blah. I said, that's your job. I left that to you guys to justify. I said, I'm too busy changing lives. And all I care about is that one client at a time, they walk away with a sense of joy they never would have had if they didn't engage the process. So I help the client first to verbally identify what is it you want. Most people are very inarticulate in expressing clearly what they want. As we are working at the subconscious level, your subconscious mind is like an innocent child. So we strive for helping the client heal from inside out. And that means it is a lot more than dealing with the obvious symptom. Right? Smoking is only a symptom. We have to get at what caused the person to smoke in the first place. How to teach the person more positive ways to deal with the stress. Coping, smoking is a maladaptive stress management mechanism, as is drinking, chemical use, violence, verbal and physical, towards self and towards other people. We don't need all kinds of wonderful techniques, books and books of scripts. How many of you have gone through hours and hours of training and learned n numbers of ways to induce trance? And now Kweethai says you don't need it if you know how to do energy work.